Hey, what's up, y'all? It's another episode of Julie Harris Presents. I got a wonderful guest back in the building. It's been some eons since the Ice Age since we had an episode, but nonetheless, we made magic. You know, I still go back and watch those episodes. It's very inspiring. So, without further ado, I'm introducing Lily Pad. She has her own channel. She's gonna push that and tell you what she's working on. And today's topic, we're gonna be talking about getting to the next level. What's the next step? You know, building. You know, staying stuck, not getting agitated or not getting, discouraged because of certain things.
Right.
I want to say I'm living proof, but you can stick to it and keep it going.
Right.
You know, consistency. It went from me doing it every Tuesday to every chance I get. You know what I'm saying? That's what it. And then I have to be the one to bend and be more maneuverable to people because people have lives and stuff to do.
Right.
Everybody's not gonna drop everything on Tuesday, just because I have a damn podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like I was saying though, it's always great. These episodes are like archives to me. Sometimes I watch episodes and I go back and I feel like I just talked to that person. The episode might just be years old.
Right.
But the conversation is still relevant. Lily Pad, I'm gonna ask you. I see you doing stuff on a consistent level and everything, consistently, and it never fails me. Like a thief in the night, bam, there you go, dropping something. Is that methodical, or is that like the time where you feel most creative, or?
I think when I first started doing like social media, first trying to get like a presence for myself, it was completely random. It was during COVID, right, where a lot of people were just kind of stuck in the house, not too much to do. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what can I do? And I started, TikTok started booming at that time. Eventually, Mark Zuckerberg bought out Instagram. And so I was just thinking to myself, like, what else can I do with my time? So it's really random at first. But then I started studying like the algorithms, right? Each platform has their own algorithms and things like that. So I started saying to myself, okay, let me actually tap into like what's going on. There's rules to follow and things like that. So I started trying to jump on that train. So it's not so random now. Now it's more methodical. Sometimes it's random though, I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah, same here. A lot of times they're random, but the algorithms, I'm just trying to get a hold of it because it changes.
it does change.
Like I had to go back
Okay.
and look at my subscriptions and everything and put them back in line into my algorithm because I started out with the perfect algorithm. Everything that's for me is right there in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Then they slowly started disappearing.
Right.
I guess they do that to have everybody, I guess, get their turn or whatever.
I feel like that's social media is not it's not an super easy thing to master like everybody thinks it is. Some people think you can just put your camera in front of you and just start making all this money. And it's like a job. You really have to treat it like a job. You got to study it, you got to show up, you got to be consistent. If you don't do those things, you're going to get fired from your job. So it's not super easy. And the fact that it's constantly changing, what's going viral, the algorithm, what people pay attention to is constantly changing. And it's not the easiest thing to master, but it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, and then when I score something, I'm like, oh wow, I found this out, yay,
Yeah,
And it's really no shortcuts.
it's really not. That's what I learned too. That's really what I learned too, because it looks easy, right? You just put, your face in front of a camera, like, oh, okay, cool. But it's really not no shortcuts to this. So
No,
I feel like in
it's
life it's not either, but not this.
you have no cheat code for success.
It's not real success.
Yeah. Things do happen overnight, but you gotta be prepared for it. Easy
You
come,
do.
easy go.
Right.
And then I think also if things happen overnight, you gotta keep that thing going. You still gotta
You
put the work in.
do. You gotta constantly breathe life into the machine that you built. You gotta constantly put gas in it. It's
Yeah.
gonna run out of gas, so you gotta keep up the maintenance. Something's gonna break apart, whatever. So you gotta, constantly pour.
I noticed another thing about algorithms, like with TikTok, TikTok is a beast.
Yeah,
You can post something, and I don't know what it is. They on there like ants. You drop some candy on the ground or something, and then they just go to it.
yeah,
And that's what I like about it. You can actually see results immediately.
yeah. It's definitely more like, what is it called? Like short-term gratification or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's definitely like you don't gotta put in, I don't say the work, but you have to grab people's attention within like 3 to 5 seconds versus like YouTube or something. It's more like drawn out. So you have time to catch people's attention. But TikTok, I think, was like the first platform. It's like you gotta get it while the iron is hot type of thing.
Yep, and then
So,
the sky's the limit, which I don't know.
yeah.
I spend time. I try to limit my time as well, which is crazy because being an adult, I don't have that time to constantly be doing it because we all got to work, we got to do other stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I could just hire somebody, I would if I could afford to.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
people after a while, you have people that handle your own social media.
Like a manager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I started as well during the pandemic. I used to do. I'm pretty sure I told you this story. I used to do stand up comedy,
Yeah.
but then there was no place to do it, social distancing.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Everybody at home, everybody in the house, everybody on the internet. Why not start a podcast?
Right.
And
I
then
feel like a lot of people definitely either took advantage of the pandemic or they just, you know,
lost the moment.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows when something like that's gonna happen again.
Yeah, and I'm just glad I got mine in 4 years ago when everybody didn't have a podcast like everybody does have one now.
Hey, everybody do have a podcast. But I feel like what makes yours so unique is you really, I don't know when you actually started, but I know when I came the first time, and it's just I'm seeing people from all different types of walk of lives. You're able to allow people to like chime in versus other podcasts when you're just sitting and watching kind of two or three, people go back and forth. And you're allowing people like, hey, let's talk about this topic. What do you have to say about that? Or like I remember the last time I was on your podcast, people actually had help. It was a woman who I forgot what she did, but she helped like children and she provided services and stuff like that. That's kind of rare to find on podcasts.
Well, now it's a funny thing. Now I try to surround myself. If you notice the episode I've seen you, I'm not saying others weren't meaningful. They were meaningful to
Yeah.
me. They were meaningful to me. But now it's to the point where people watch it in search of, in need of certain things, so that I have that person on there with that information that they need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and then what's the use
Yeah.
of knowledge if you don't share it? People don't understand that.
Right. Exactly. And what's the use of knowledge if you don't use it? A lot of people know a lot of things, but they don't actually apply themselves. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
another thing too, found out a lot about people. And
Mhm.
so far, I found out we all are the same. Unless here and there a few mental cases, but I mean that's with anything you're doing.
I
Um,
feel like it's definitely not hard. I think it's not hard to learn. I just think people don't have the discipline to sit there to learn what they need to learn. I've met a lot of people that are good at certain things, but like you might have to actually go and get a degree, right, to make the money to do what you want to do versus making a few dollars doing it out your basement. And that's okay as a first or second step. But when you're talking about being unstuck or talking about progressing in life, there's other action steps, right? So nobody cares about the knowledge. Most of the time, people care about what's on paper. And unfortunately, even though you're really good at something, whatever's on paper, that's what people are going to see. That's what people are going to see as valid, right? And not like a scam. So
the same way. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I want to see your credentials.
Yeah, right. That's like you don't want to take your car when it breaks down to like some shady dude with like no customers and 0-star rating. You want to try your best to get into like a mechanical shop with the certification in the background or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to see those things hanging on the wall. You know, when you go to a doctor, you want to see those things hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
like you're not finna. And then another thing is having what the demand for things.
Mm-hmm.
People have a demand for something. It could be foolishness. It could be knowledge. Anything on. I use an example. YouTube. Anything on there is something for you. You want to fix something? YouTube.
Right.
Learn about something? YouTube.
So I have a question. What would you say, as far as your career on social media, what would you say kind of launched you from this level to this level?
Sleep. Well, no, honestly, people do a lot. They do a lot more with interaction.
Yeah.
You know, I went from here to there. Like, oh, look, here's a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? They gave them a little, you know, caught their attention.
Right.
And, you know, free gas giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm going to tune in for that if it's
Right.
free. You know what I'm saying? Then also let people know, because I got a lot of family members that's older and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, could you subscribe to my channel? I ain't got the money, babe.
Right.
It's free. You don't have to, you know, there's nothing included. Just, I mean, you hit the bell and you get notifications and stuff. Where I was to where I am now, big difference. Equipment wise, definitely. Which I'm still learning that aspect of the game. But when I get it, I'll really be, you know, next level.
That's
yeah,
good.
subject matter. I didn't take a step back, but I made sure I researched and what I put out is more educated than just hearsay. And I like to use more fact-based opinions. Considering I went through my studio, my YouTube studio, I got some strikes. I believe every single time they said it won't be counted against you, but I ain't trusting it because it's still there. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about discouragement too. A lot of discouraging things. Like you can't do it on a day because you have to do, you know, a fulfillment like work or something like that. Just be greater later. You know, if you think about it, you can get an episode in, do more than one episode.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so have them stacked
that
up.
consistency.
Yep, you keep that consistency, and when you do that, though, it's like it's not even work anymore. It's just like, oh, this is great.
Right.
But that's the thing, just being patient with things. Because I mean, it's a lot of things that I get agitated about, you know, frustrated about, but I keep to it. And it's one of the things where I'm the same way. If I keep seeing something, I'm gonna check it out.
Right.
You know, another thing, something that felt good was seeing me pop up in other people's algorithms.
Right.
And it'd be most of the mundane episodes. Like I haven't did a sports episode in years, but it popped up in somebody's algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which was kind of dope. Now, Lily Pad, what type of I see the way you post and everything. You then to now, I noticed a big difference. Is there anything you went back and learned about filming and stuff like that, or editing?
I think when I first started TikTok, I was kind of sporadic, right? I wasn't even thinking about posting on Instagram or any other social media platform. I was just kind of like, I'm bored. I see other people going on live. I see other people creating content. Let me just see what's up with that. But I like to think that now I've perfected my brand more, what kind of content I want to create, what kind of information I want to put out there in the world, what kind of wisdom can I give, kind of be like a helping hand to people more and not just fun. Like I like to think I'm still a fun, entertaining person, but I don't think it's as important as actually like sharing information. I feel like a lot of people end up in horrible situations because just nobody never told them. And as much as I would like to just be like, wow, I mean, I'll say it like this, like the journey was about me and just expressing myself when I first started. But then God, I just started connecting with God along the way. And he just kind of shifted my focus. Like, man, people, there's a script that says, my people perish for lack of wisdom and knowledge. I feel like that's true. I see it all the time. People don't see their own potential. They don't see what they're capable of. And so they just dwindle to almost nothing. So
It's funny you should say that. If you see something good in somebody, say something.
yeah, you
You
might be
know,
the first one who told them that ever, you know?
and chances are when you do that, that is the first time. But at the same time, that's it gives them the battery in their back to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't.
Sometimes, yeah, that's just all it is. Like you might not even be the first person, but the first person in a long time to say, hey, I see this in you. Hey, you're good at this. Hey, keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Also good to be honest too.
Yeah, I
So
agree with
I mean,
that.
everything's not perfect, and I appreciate every honest opinion, every comment, everything. And you know it's honesty where it comes from who it comes
Yeah.
from, and how it comes. So you know it's honesty.
Yeah, I definitely have some negative, and that's the other thing. Social media is not this glamorous place people make it up to be. Sometimes I've definitely had some negative remarks or some honesty that was kind of brutal, but I needed to hear it. You know, you really have to be kind of mature to be on social media because you're not just getting one or two or three people in your friend group feedback. You're getting like the world around you feedback. You know, social media is such a broad place. So I think it helps you to mature and see things from all different types of angles versus just talking to like three people in your family or friend group about, you know, a specific topic. So
Exactly. And
yeah.
then, but I wanted to throw this in there. I have been having conversations with people about starting podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My advice to you would be just to do it because it turns into one is the same. They might
Mm-hmm.
have they might have different setups and stuff like that. Not one. I mean, if you do it right and you capture yourself, it's amazing.
It is.
And I would before you start, I would advise you building that base before your first episode.
Agreed.
Or if you make your first episode, don't air it until you get somebody knowing that it's on the way.
Right.
Man, that's a
Yeah.
good way to keep tally on who's with you and who's not at all either.
It
Yeah,
is.
I would
It
definitely
is.
go and promote. Get you a logo. You know, before anything, that first episode, before you first air that first one, make it a rollout. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, me personally, I love the way Facebook does the old school, the timer to where if you're subscribed and everything, you're sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
The little timer with the popcorn and everything. I don't know. It's just something about that. It's just cool.
A
Um,
lot of people are still on Facebook too. So yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I saw somebody doing a podcast with live, which I have no issues with that. The only thing is, I think you only can save your live for only a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
and I think also you can't. Can you upload a live to any other platform?
You know what? That's a good question, actually.
Because I mean, if you can upload it, you can put it on a USB drive, and then bam, you can shoot it to any platform. That's
Right.
something to look into, yeah, because that's something I want to hold on to. Like,
Right.
say if you get a sponsor or something picked up by somebody big or whatever, you're gonna need all your records.
Right. As far as that's good advice too. As far as like the advice that you had said about if you would give advice to anybody that wants to start this whole social media journey just to start, I 100% agree with that. I'd also add on to that by saying like find one platform first. One of my biggest, I won't say it was a mistake, but it was a lesson that you can't really put your feet on solid ground trying to like spread yourself too thin on all these different platforms. And I think that's why I kind of had zeroed in on TikTok, because I was trying to like balance all these different platforms, and they all got different algorithms, and all these different platforms, they want to see different things from me too. The community that I have on TikTok is not the same community that I have on YouTube or Instagram. And I would just say, like, just stick to one platform for a while, gain your community first, and then you can venture off and do whatever you want to do, podcasting or reaction videos or teaching or whatever. But I I definitely wore myself out trying to get on a bunch of different platforms, you know, too soon.
For future reference, though, just so you know, which I'm gonna be once I perfect the algorithms of where I'm at, my home, or what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna go into one of those packages where you're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a package you pay monthly for to be distributed everywhere. But
Right.
my main focus is just understanding how it's done in general. Period. Before I even do that,
Yeah.
because if it's not for me, I know what
So
to do
important.
and how to do it myself. You know.
Right.
Another thing too, people say things they don't understand it. They don't get it. It's your vision. They're not supposed to. Don't get
That's
discouraged.
true.
You know, it's your vision. It's not theirs. It's your time. It's not theirs. If you're gonna start out, you might not end with the same people that you
That's so
started with.
true.
You know, but I mean, it goes nowhere. It's the drive. It was a journey. It was my journey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To keep things going and stuff like that. Like other things happen and things like, you know, people life be life. Ain't that what you say? Life be life.
Life be life in.
Yeah. So with that
It
being
does.
said, you know, it's hard enough for me to stay consistent. So let alone somebody that doesn't exactly see my vision. I can't expect them to be on the same page as me.
Life be life in. I just remember showing up in certain people's lives, even yours, right? For a while, I was just like every Tuesday, I'm like, I'm on it. It was so many people that was just so consistent. And then I had so much popping up in my own life. And I felt so guilty. Like, how am I supposed to maintain these relationships and business partnerships? But at the same time, I had to understand, like, I have to keep my boat afloat too. And that was like a whole lesson in that season. That like, wow, there was a season where I could kind of leave my boat and it would be straight. I can kind of pour into everybody else. But then I had a season where it's like, oh no, I have to, my boat is starting to sink. I gotta start pouring into myself too. So I feel like you're right about that. I don't carry grudges with people. I'm not hard headed in that sense. But I do know that some people, like you said, the people that you start with might not be the people that you finish with or in the present with. So, you know, I feel like some people are for a season, a reason, or a lifetime, basically. And that's okay. It's really okay. But just to know people's place in your life helps a lot. Because you don't want to hold on to somebody for whatever circumstance and they're supposed to just be for a season. You think they're for a lifetime. Or vice versa. You know, just start understanding people places in your life. So that's
And,
okay. I
and
feel like that's
let
very healthy.
and let me tell you, it's healthy, but in a million years you couldn't imagine. You won't imagine the people that are there for a season they're supposed to be there for a lifetime, and vice versa. You will be shocked.
Yeah.
You
I've been
will be
shocked.
shocked, and it's a beautiful thing. I say it's a beautiful thing because you don't know how you impact people.
Right.
That's just on a day to day. Let alone somebody like complete strangers understanding you. That's a different feeling. That makes you want to keep doing it.
It is. People having patience with you, grace with you, understanding. And sometimes we don't know the effect that we have on people. There are people that came in my life where I'm like, oh, hello, like, why are you back? And then they just tell me a story like, hey, I remember when you did this for me or said this to me, or this is how you affected me. You kind of changed a part of me or something. And I would be like completely shocked because I just be talking. Like, I talk sometimes without trying to go too deep, but I can't help it because I'm a deep person. But, you know, I just go on about my life after that. And the ways that people told me they were affected by me or God or whatever is just amazing to me. Um, it's kind of like you got to give people a chance to grow into their shoes sometime. So
yeah, and then but the crazy part is they have a chance to grow into their shoes. In the back of your mind, you're like, oh, okay, well, out of sight, out of mind.
That's true.
Then you reach this person who has grown undeniably, and you're like, well, it's possible for anybody. That's the only thing I get from it, though. It's possible for anybody.
It is. Don't burn unnecessary bridges. That's like, what is it? My second advice now. Don't burn unnecessary bridges. Just because you disagree with somebody or whatever, like there's so many other things that you should burn a bridge on, but just little stuff like that is just people.
That's another thing too. The business is separated from a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to look at this like it's going to be the people that I rock with. They're more generally friends than anything, which means that certain things are going to happen.
Right.
We're going to have disagreements and stuff. I've had multiple disagreements with people, but it never stopped everything from moving. I'm the first person willing to compromise.
Right. I feel like some people don't have. I feel like some people don't have understanding sometimes, and that's okay. They're just for a season, you know.
Yeah.
But the people that's supposed to be, in your life for the lifetime, they'll come back around, and they'll come back around more mature, more understanding, more willing, more supportive, things like that. Yeah. And you'll never know. You might reconnect with somebody that has grown to the same level of you to some capacity or whatever, and y'all actually push each other up.
I've done that to the level of like I did a double take. It's a recent guest, like, wow, the blow up is real.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can't do nothing but give them their proper etiquette, give them their respect and everything like that. You can't help but do it. That's only fair. That's only right.
It's crazy because I still wear the shirt that you gave me, and I was outside. I was at the library actually, and somebody was like, "Oh, like I like your shirt," and I had the chance to promote your business, Yeah. And it was just like so amazing to me because again, I was talking to God about that. Like, what was that whole transaction about? And God was just telling me, like, sometimes things take a while to get up off the ground, but you really don't know the impression you leave on people. You know what I mean?
No,
like we know, like we haven't talked in a while, but I still have your shirt and I still wear it. I still wear it outside. And what you're building, you just have no idea. Like things take a while to take off. And I feel like some people want this to take off in 6 months, 3 months, a year. But like you don't even know that a word that you spoke to somebody or how you presented yourself or how you showed up for somebody, it could have an effect on them for a lifetime. And again, like I always say this, but keep doing what you're doing. It's very positive and it's very, I feel like you're building like an empire. And like you said, people might not see your vision. Your podcast is very different from a lot of podcasts I tap into personally. But I feel like that's like the amazing part of it. It's very different. You're a very humble person. You're very strong. You're very insightful. You're very much for people and what they got going on too. And
you're not gonna make me cry. We gotta stop this right now. Stop this insanity. Stop this insanity. This is not about me. Anybody that's watching this, this is not about me. But I appreciate it. You giving me my flowers. I do appreciate that.
For sure.
But and then I mean that goes both ways. I should be telling you the same thing. And it was like automatically right away. There was such thing as common sense. That's great in today's society that if you run into somebody with that type of sense and then some.
Right. Yeah.
And I always felt like you were more mature than average.
Yeah, I definitely have my share of mistakes, but I try to learn from my lessons for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We all do, but I appreciate it. But it's all, I don't know, it doesn't feel like work when you're enjoying it.
Exactly that. That's the level we're trying to get to, honey. It don't feel like work when you're doing what you love.
Yeah, man, and it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun. It's and then you know I like to throw a little bit of humor in there too. You know because
Right.
and conversation. That's conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like we have conversations. People, all different people, all walks of life have the same conversations.
Right.
And that's what I found out. I had everybody on this. People from Iraq, which was crazy because you know the air show goes on, and you know they made a comment like, "Shoot, during the Gulf War, shoot, we should lay on our roofs and look at the fighter jets just going over our house and stuff, on the
Yeah,
bomb
it's
stuff. Like that's
crazy.
crazy."
It
Like
really is crazy.
I had a guest. He is Arabic. He was like, "I got taught how to shoot an AK-47 at 11." I was like, "Oh."
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it
Other
is crazy.
cultures, what they learn and what they go through. Like, I remember I was talking to this. I had an Indian friend. He's still my friend to this day, from India, and he was just telling me about his journey, how he got here and stuff. And I was just like, "Why did you come here?" I just had, a lot of questions and stuff. And when I was telling him about the war that could possibly be breaking out in the United States, he was like, "Oh, there's wars all the time in my country." I had an African friend that told me the same thing. So it's like when we go to war, it's this big phenomenon. It's on channel 7, it's on channel 2, stuff like that. But
Oh
wars
no.
are like ongoing in other countries. Like that's what they're used to.
Yeah, and then think about it like this on this scale. Okay, say where we at now, a part of town goes to war, dropping bombs, missiles in our vicinity. We not used to that. We haven't seen that. The type of war they go through in their country, not at all. And then that's another reason why they come here.
Right.
Because I mean, just literally they having a war in your backyard. Could you imagine?
I couldn't. And I used to watch people TikTok lives when they were going to war. Like when Russia was going to war with was it
Ukraine?
Ukraine? Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
watching people's lives, like bombs going off in the background, soldiers, armies. I was like, oh my gosh. But this is normal for y'all because y'all go to war. So
But I mean, and it's only so many resources they got. Just imagine what it takes to get over here.
right.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but that's always gonna be true. It's always been war. But in Revelations they say there's gonna be wars and rumors of wars and stuff like
I
that.
told somebody that yesterday. That is insane. Like, because Iraq is in war with Iran right now, or Israel. One of the Middle Eastern. Because I'm sorry, I'm
Actually,
not.
it's actually all you're naming 3 of the parties out of the 4. So that's why, yeah.
Okay, that's fair then. But and they were just like, why is all this war going on over there? I said, war been going on over there before, like the U.S. press, started recording it. But also on top of that, again, war be going on that like the U.S. don't have nothing to do with really. So we don't really be hearing about stuff unless you watch the world news or something. So
And then some news are biased, so you have to understand that too.
yeah, watch
You
the
know,
world news, y'all. Watch the world news. That's what I'll say. Don't just watch what the news is here. You got to know what's going on in the world. And I know people be like, oh, like it's not affecting me in my household, but it is though. The world, we all living in a world. We're all humans.
oh
So
no, it affects you.
yeah,
Whether
people
you
don't
know it
think
or
like
not,
that.
yeah, no, it affects you. Just think about it. You might have somebody that's related, well, not related, but somebody that has a relative in that country.
You might, and like not even economically, right? Like our stuff comes from like we have oil that comes from the Middle East.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have certain products and services that come from over there. So, you know, don't be naive and think like, oh, it's not affecting me. That's way over there. Like it's closer than you think. So it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to know.
But you got to think too, when these other countries and stuff they get mad at us, what do? The closest person to us, our embassies, our tourists, our citizens, fair game.
It is. It's free game for sure.
But is that I want before I go any further though, I want you to tell people where to find you and about your channel and everything like that. Because I mean, it's popping, it's lit.
Thank you. So my website is opulenceeffects.com. It's where modern beauty can meet luxury. So I picked that slogan because I feel like a lot of people want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel beautiful. They want to feel handsome, but they have a lot going on. You might not be able to afford the $300 Chanel bottle of perfume or something. But I really like to see modern people feel and look their best, but not at these insane prices just because. My TikTok is LilyPad, LILLIEPADD. And that's my Instagram as well. That's actually my YouTube as well. So yeah, yeah. My channel is very similar to yours, just uplifting people, having fun, us talking, us vibing. Um, but that's always been our goal in life, is just meeting people where they're at and trying to help them get further. And the same way God is helping me get further too. So just sharing the good news, sharing wisdom.
And then I think it's only right. I mean, you can agree with me. I'm gonna go on the limb and say you can agree with me. You can vouch for me when I say this. People want to be helped, whether they ask for it or not.
I think that's true. You know what? I really think that's true. I think most people do, man or woman. I think most people really do want help. They just sometimes they don't ask, or
They don't ask, don't know how to ask.
yeah.
And then you can't blame them, because then they ask somebody to help them out. They help them, and then the whole world know about it.
Right, maybe they got
Like,
scarred before like that.
Yeah, what did you help me for, just to broadcast it like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
So, I mean,
like people who record people that like help out homeless people. Like, I'm gonna give this homeless dude $20, I'm gonna record it. Like, no, just do it. God see it, just do it.
Hey, I will say this: in Heaven's movie, you know what Heaven's movie is?
Who?
Heaven's movie.
No.
Heaven's movie is what God sees and nobody else.
Ooh.
So what I will say this: I've given a lot in that movie, and nobody will see it but him.
Right.
And then I tell people too, like, "Oh, you so nice." And now thinking like, "How do you think I get my blessings?"
Right.
They don't grow on trees and stuff like that. I mean, it's a million and one things that I could be doing, to help people. I mean, I feel like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I'm doing that, I'm on the right track.
Right.
I'm not walking around.
I feel like that's a great attitude to have in life. I was talking to somebody the other day. I hope this is not too far off topic, but he was just basically saying, like, why is there so much violence and criminal activity in certain parts of the U.S. but not in other parts, and amongst African American people and not in other races and stuff like that?
That is very simple.
I feel like it was very simple too. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, because he was from like the West Coast and we over here. So I feel like it's all this division. Anytime there's division, it's going to cause, rebellion, right? It's going to cause some type of adversity anytime there's any division. So it was just so crazy because as he was going on and on and on, I just felt like the answer is just so simple. And he was like, well, you had the chance to do this and a third. And I was just telling him, but like, I choose not to be that type of person though. Everybody has this choice. You can choose to be this and do this and say this or not. Some people choose the lesser evil and some people don't. Some people choose the greater good and some people don't. But it's not like you have to do anything. And it was just like, I don't know, it was like an epiphany to the person. And it was a real conversation. It got kind of deep.
Yeah, but that's necessary. And then it also shows you, like, how when you communicate with people. I like talking to people where we finish the conversation, I feel full.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I left something out. I don't feel like we're missing some type of interpretation or anything. And I don't want them to misconstrue anything.
Right.
Like, prime example, after I leave this episode, I'm going to actually watch it
Right.
You know, and then be like, well, next episode, and then and right now I'm literally thinking like, what can I tell somebody that I didn't get in, you know, on this channel, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this: go for whatever you want to do, you know, and if it don't work, it's gonna work. Keep trying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna always be a first. Like I told the story the first time me bombing at a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
It was so horrific. It was funny.
You said horrific?
Horrific. It was horrible. I bombed. You gotta think about it. I was starstruck. It was a celebrity guest judge. There was a rapper, one of my favorite rappers. They gave me the mic, shook my hand, said my name, hand me phone, like good luck. I was like, oh, everything is out the window now.
Right.
Because in my head, I officially made it before my set. But then the thing with comedy is, when you're doing crowd work and your material and stuff, everything has to go in order with timing. My stuff was all out of order with timing. It was horrible. Like it was got to the point to where people stopped what they was doing just to look at me and like, oh my God, what is he doing? Like during the whole show though, like everybody else moving around, going to get food, going to the bathroom, you know, it was like all eyes was on me at that point in time. But then again though, like it was an 8 Mile moment too. Needless
Right.
needless to say, I got off that stage fast as hell. I was in the parking lot with the microphone, so yeah.
Right.
Huh?
I said right. Okay, so I got one last question before we go.
What's up?
We gotta make it a good question.
All right.
This is a good question. What's one thing that you would do now if you knew it back when you started your social media journey, your podcast journey?
I would be more open to people about what I'm doing. Like
So
what
you
I'm
mean
doing
like
now,
stuff
like
to people or be more receptive to people?
I've always been receptive. The thing is, though, like always, my thing is though, I would be more open to explain to people and things like that. Tell like I do now, like it's a whole breakdown. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm doing. This and that, and yada yada. Is more so like me letting you know that it's me. This is me, legitly 100%, because that's what I would want. Looking at someone's product, I'm talking to that person. That's impressive. Wow, they taking time to talk to me about it. Instead of just
Right.
posting the stuff and be like, hope it catch wind, posting
Right.
stuff, hope somebody see this,
Right.
posting stuff, I hope they share it. You know, it's
Yeah.
different like that.
Yeah,
So
the underlying fear. Yeah.
yeah, so with that being said, I cut all of the doubt out, well, almost all of the doubt out doing it myself, which I'm not being, what do you call that? What do you call that? I do everything myself to make sure it's done. Not even done right, just make sure it's done. And then along the way, I met people that actually could do things better than me, that actually fell in shape for me to, worry about other stuff. But like the person, Ritty Momo, she very talented. She did a theme song. I don't know if you heard it or not. It's been, like I said, it's been a minute. But yeah, and then she does a lot of
great. It's good advice.
yeah.
It's good advice. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to take that, put their big toe in the water, so to speak, or take that first little step. But that's good advice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send it to somebody that was like, man, I'm thinking about doing it, this and that. And the person, I'm so excited because it would be off the hook if they did it.
Right.
If they was by themselves on there speaking into the camera, they would be absolutely amazing.
Right.
That's what type of image they have, but I only can say so much.
Right.
And then, I respect, they older than me. They're not elderly, but they older than me. So I don't want to be like, oh, you should do this. No, I'm not going to be like that. But
yeah.
I do say, though, like, if you need anything, any type of help, any information or anything, let me know. I got you.
Right.
Not you. You're doing better than me right now. So.
No. I just feel like we're on different platforms doing kind of two different things.
I'm trying to get like you, man. I'm telling you.
Man.
And You never know what be in my plans, so I'll tell you that you'll really appreciate it. You might like it, but
I
you know.
appreciate it now. I appreciate it back then when I was tapping in. You know, I just gave you your flowers, so you know how I feel.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I owe you. So, you know,
Ah,
I will. You know what? It'll be a compliment. I'll say that.
right.
But you know, this episode been great, man. It's been great catching up. Hopefully, we can catch up again. Can you
For
hear me?
sure. For
And then,
sure. And again, I apologize it took so long. I think we're both so busy, but me personally, a lot of changes started happening out of nowhere, and I didn't really know how to like deal with all the changes that's happening in my life or accommodate for them. But I feel like I'm in a more stable place now. So I'm grateful that we could, you know, catch up and shoot this podcast and reconnect. I'm grateful, for sure.
absolutely. And then, you know, also as I view you as a friend. So here and there, like, hey, what's going on? Hey, just showing support. Hey, here, there, here, there, here,
Right.
there. You know, and then repetition. That's the
Yeah,
same
that
thing as
consistency.
consistency. That's the same thing I'm getting at. So
Right.
with that being said, I know you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly
yeah,
that.
it's been a great one. This
It
one in the
has.
books. Hopefully we do one soon. I'll send this out. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I think you already are.
Subscribe.
But, you know, everybody just take a step back and subscribe. You know, hit that bell. You know what I'm saying, for the notifications, and be off and running. Thanks, Lily Pad. It's been great, and I'll be
It's
shooting
been a
this your way.
pleasure.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Catch up with you.
All right, for sure.